Enkidu said, "You have never met him, so you don't know the horror that lurks ahead. But when I saw him, my blood ran cold. His teeth are sharp, they stick out like tusks. His face, blood-smeared, is a lion's face. He charges ahead like a raging torrent, his forehead ablaze. Who can withstand him? I am terrified. I cannot go on." Gilgamesh said, "Courage, dear brother. This is no time to give in to fear. We have come so far, across so many mountains, and our journey is about to reach its goal. You were raised in the wild. With your own hands you have killed marauding lions and wolves. You are brave. Your heart has been tested in combat. Though your arms feel weak now and your legs tremble, you are a warrior. You know what to do. Shout out your battle cry. Let your voice pound like a kettle drum. Let your heart inspire you to be joyous in battle, to forget about death. If we help each other and fight side by side, we will make a lasting name for ourselves. We will stamp our fame on men's minds forever." They walked deep into the cedar forest, gripping their axes, their knives unsheathed, following the trail that Humbaba had made. They came within sight of the monster's den. He was waiting inside it. Their blood ran cold. He saw the two friends. He grimaced. He bared his teeth. He let out a deafening roar. He glared at Gilgamesh. "Young man," he said, "you'll never go home. Prepare to die." Dread surged through Gilgamesh. Terror flooded his muscles. His heart froze. His mouth went dry. His legs shook. His feet were rooted to the ground. Enkidu saw his dismay and said, "Dear friend, great warrior, noble hero, don't lose courage. Remember this. 2 boats lashed together will never sink. A 3-ply rope is not easily broken. If we help each other and fight side by side, what harm can come to us? Let us go on." They advanced into the monster's den. Humbaba charged out, roaring at them, and said, "I know you, Gilgamesh. Don't be a fool. Go away. Leave the cedar forest. Have madmen told you to confront me here? I will tear you limb from limb. I will crush you and leave you bloody and mangled on the ground. And you, Enkidu, you son of a fish or a turtle, you gutless, fatherless spawn who never suckled on mother's milk. I saw you in the pastures when you were young. I saw you graze with the wandering herds. But I didn't kill you. You were too scrawny. You wouldn't have made a decent meal. And now you dare to lead Gilgamesh here? You both stand before me like a pair of frightened girls. I'll slit your throats, I'll cut off your heads, I'll feed your stinking guts to the shrieking vultures and crows." Gilgamesh backed away. He said, "How dreadful Humbaba's face has become. It's changing into 1,000 nightmare faces, more horrible than I can bear. I feel haunted. I am too afraid to go on." Enkidu answered, "Why, dear friend, do you speak like a coward? What you just said is unworthy of you. It grieves my heart. We must not hesitate or retreat. 2 intimate friends cannot be defeated. Be courageous. Remember how strong you are. I will stand by you. Now let us attack." Gilgamesh felt his courage return. They charged at Humbaba like 2 wild bulls. The monster let out a deafening cry. His roar boomed forth like a blast of thunder. He stamped and the ground burst open. His steps split the mountains of Lebanon. The clouds turned black. A sulphurous fog descended on them and made their eyes ache. Then Shamash threw strong winds at Humbaba, the south wind, the north wind, the east wind, the west wind, storm wind, gale wind, hurricane, tornado, to pin him down and paralyze his steps. He could not move forward, he could not retreat. Gilgamesh saw it. He leapt upon him. He held the knife to Humbaba's throat. Humbaba said, "Gilgamesh, have mercy. Let me live here in the cedar forest. If you spare my life, I will be your slave. I will give you as many cedars as you wish. You are king of Uruk by the grace of Shamash. Honor him with a cedar temple, and a glorious cedar palace for yourself. All this is yours, if only you spare me." Enkidu said, "Dear friend, don't listen to anything that the monster says. Kill him before you become confused." Humbaba said, If any mortal, Enkidu, knows the rules of my forest, it is you. You know that this is my place and that I am the forest guardian. Enlil put me here to terrify men, and I guard the forest as Enlil ordains. If you kill me, you will call down the gods' wrath, and their judgment will be severe. I could have killed you at the forest's edge. I could have hung you from a cedar and fed your guts to the shrieking vultures and crows. Now it's your turn to show me mercy. Speak to him. Beg him to spare my life." Enkidu said, "Dear friend, quickly, before another moment goes by, kill Humbaba. Don't listen to his words. Don't hesitate. Slaughter him. Slit his throat before the great god Enlil can stop us, before the great gods can get enraged. Enlil and Nippur, Shamash and Larsa, establish your fame, so that forever men will speak of brave Gilgamesh, who killed Humbaba in the cedar forest." Knowing he was doomed, Humbaba cried out, "I curse you both. Because you have done this, may Enkidu die. May he die in great pain. May Gilgamesh be inconsolable. May his merciless heart be crushed with grief." Gilgamesh dropped his axe, appalled. Enkidu said, "Courage, dear friend. Close your ears to Humbaba's curses. Don't listen to a word. Slaughter him, now." Gilgamesh, hearing his beloved friend, came to himself. He yelled. He lifted his massive axe. He swung it. It tore into Humbaba's neck. The blood shot out. Again the axe bit flesh and bone. The monster staggered. His eyes rolled. And at the axe's third stroke, he toppled like a cedar and crashed to the ground. At his death roar, the mountains of Lebanon shook. The valleys ran with his blood for 10 miles. The forest resounded. Then the two friends sliced him open, pulled out his intestines, cut off his head, with its nice sharp teeth and horrible bloodshot staring eyes. A gentle rain fell upon the mountains. A gentle rain fell upon the mountains. They took their axes and penetrated deeper into the forest. They went chopping down cedars. The wood chips flew. Gilgamesh chopped down the mighty trees. Enkidu hewed the trunks into timbers. Enkidu said, "By your great strength you have killed Humbaba, the forest's watchman. What could bring you dishonor now? We have chopped down the trees of the cedar forest. We have brought to earth the highest of the trees, the cedar whose top once pierced the sky. We will make it into a gigantic door, 100 feet high, 30 feet wide. We will float it down the Euphrates to Enlil's temple in Nippur. No man shall go through it, but only the gods. May Enlil delight in it. May it be the joy of the people of Nippur." They bound logs together and built a raft. Enkidu steered it down the great river. Gilgamesh carried Humbaba's head. When he returned to Great Walled Uruk, Gilgamesh bathed. He washed his matted hair and shook it over his back. He took off his filthy blood-splattered clothes, put on a tunic of the finest wool, wrapped himself in a glorious gold-trimmed purple robe and fastened it with a wide fringed belt, then put on his crown. The goddess Ishtar caught sight of him. She saw how splendid a man he was. Her heart was smitten. Her loins caught fire. "Come here, Gilgamesh," Ishtar said. "Marry me. Give me your luscious fruits. Be my husband, be my sweet man. I will give you abundance beyond your dreams, marble and alabaster, ivory and jade, gorgeous servants with blue-green eyes, a chariot of lapis lazuli with golden wheels and guide horns of amber, pulled by storm demons like giant mules. When you enter my temple and its cedar fragrance, high priests will bow down and kiss your feet. Kings and princes will kneel before you, bringing you tribute from east and west. And I bless everything that you own. Your goats will bear triplets, your ewes will twin, your donkeys will be faster than any mule. Your chariot horses will win every race. Your oxen will be the envy of the world. These are the least of the gifts I will shower upon you. Come here, be my sweet man."